thank you for joining us. Today we know there are millions of ways for you to get your news, but when you watch, what is it that stays with you? If I had to guess, it'd be unforgettable characters, stunning visuals, and that intimate sense that you're in the moment as it's happening. Well, there is no station in the country doing that better than WFAA, and it's all thanks to the men and women that make up our incredible team of photojournalists. Tonight we are celebrating their strongest work from the year and putting them in front of the camera.
I don't know what WFAA is known for. It's hard to really know what that perception is when you're inside of it. I know that we all think that we're the place that tells great stories, and I hope that the rest of the world sees us that way, because it's how we see ourselves.
This is where healing begins.
It's great to be part of, a forward-thinking photojournalist team. It's good to be part of people that are innovative and just love storytelling. And, the reason we do it is because we care about the people, we care about the community, and I can see that in every single person that we work with on this team.
5 minutes, we were into the most terrible storm I've ever experienced in 81 years.
The question in my heart is, why us? Why now?
One of the things that's great about this business that I think draws so many of us in is the randomness. Every day is different. You could be indoors, outdoors, in-state, out-of-state. There's a lot of variety, and that's what keeps me going.
At most news stations, it almost becomes like an assembly line. You're just day after day putting the pieces together just to get it on air. But here, we don't do that. We know that each story that we tell is important to those people that are in that story, and it's important to the viewers who are going to be seeing it.
He was kind of just hanging up there.
The wind, the rain from a Category 1 storm.
Whether that's from every word we write, every shot we get, every edit we make.
For which is stand, one nation, under God.
We want to make sure that we honor the people that are in these stories and tell their story as best as possible.
Oh God. Well, if you want to start cutting through here and come back.
I think it's clearly evident in the finished product that care and that attention to detail is there.
I forgot what it felt to enjoy something so simple.
It is a reminder to us all, and a reminder that a brother's bond knows no bounds.
Slowly, I kind of came to realize that I do want to try again.
And I keep praying every night that he'll come home safely and return to his family.
Here I am.
Yeah.
See how those prayers get answered?
Yeah.
I want their story to be great because they deserve it. I don't want to disappoint them because they let me into their lives. So I want to do a decent job of telling their story, and I hope that I, do that correctly.
I wanted it painted with a theme.
You don't need an invitation to listen.
That kind of said, come and have a seat and let's visit.
When Esther McHenry brought out her bench, she also brought out the best in community.
Neighborhoods have different religions and politics and all of that, but none of that matters on the bench, right?
In no time, it was the bus stop, a rest stop, even a lunch spot for everyone.
Because I thought, it's not really a bench, is it?
It was much more. But something happened to make everyone realize it.
I guess somebody needed my bench more than I did.
One day, it just vanished, with no leads and neighbors wondering.
It is the most unlikely story.
It's not all that heavy.
A story that takes place 6 months later and takes us 9 houses down.
You need to work on your biceps.
That's fine.
Isn't it great that I found the bench?
It is.
Harper is 7, going on 17.
I just don't think it's right for a beautiful bench like this just to get stolen.
One day they were driving to the grandparents' house.
I know, it's still so sad we don't have that bench back, and Harper says, well, I know where it is.
Mommy said, yeah, whatever, yeah.
A very common parent response not to listen, but Harper insisted.
They see a lot more than we do, so much more. I'm so proud of her.
Go. Gets heavy over time, doesn't it?
Spotted miles from its original spot.
I'm definitely getting my workout for the day.
That's where the story takes us.
The bench was found on the front porch of a home in Allen, a city right next door.
Hey, Strother. How are you doing?
No one knows who took it. The family who had it never knew it was stolen.
But here's a little child looking out for me, right?
Esther needed it more than you know. She is an end-of-life doula. This bench was the therapy that helped so many families. The bench where she listened.
I have seen so much heartache. So much heartache.
It's such a beautiful day, Mama Lisa.
Isn't it? It's a perfect bench day, don't you think?
Actually, it really is.
One became 2.
You want to sit with us?
Come on in.
There's room for one more, buddy.
2 became 3. You want to sit on my lap?
And 4
Pile on.
became community.
This is the one that was stolen.
How'd you get back?
The only requirements on this bench are
I never expected anybody to take it.
don't take it,
Near here? No, in another town.
but do take a moment and listen.
Well, you take care.
In McKinney,
Good to see you.
I'm Joe Painter.
Oh, cute dog.
Welcome back. After violent storms blow through North Texas, our crews rush out to those scenes. And it's often our cameras and our photojournalists that see that devastation first.
It was kind of going to be a normal Sunday.
Until it wasn't.
There's been a tornado warning issued for the northern half of Dallas County.
We were sitting in the newsroom, we were putting our story together, and all of a sudden, Jesse's on TV with the tornado warning. And we get in the car and we start driving north, and I'm checking Twitter and I'm seeing all the updates, and it is not looking good, and we're hearing damage reports and debris and all these things, and we get up to North Dallas, and parts of it looked like a war zone.
I actually called the desk and said, I'm coming in, where do I need to go? They told me to come on in and get as much video as possible on the way in, and I never actually made it to the station, basically because I couldn't. The highways were all blocked.
The thing about that tornado was you just keep driving and you just keep seeing damage, and it is block after block.
I got it.
You know, why over there?
I got it.
Everybody's walking around these electric lines. I can't tell you any of those are dead.
And then all the debris, you could hear
Watch the wires, Mom.
just turning.
Okay, now hold on.
Yes, please.
One at a time. Treat every wire as it could be alive.
And I could feel rumbling. I didn't know if the roof was going to come down.
So I told my husband, I said, it's here.
All the trees in my front yard are gone.
Windows busted all over the house.
Neighbors across the street, all their windows are gone, the roofs are gone.
It came fast.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
We didn't have any time. Just started praying. That we would come through alive.
It's difficult to explain just with video just how bad this apartment complex really is, and just how frustrated everyone is here.
So I called in immediately, asked if they needed help. They did, so I grabbed some gear and met a reporter at the scene.
We ended up at Thomas Jefferson High School.
The first place I went to was Home Depot, and Home Depot was gone. It was complete, like somebody just crushed a soda can.
When we drove closer to the school and the church, we saw that the buildings were severely damaged. We saw trees down, we saw power lines down. When the light, when the sun started coming out, that's when it really hit. that everything in that neighborhood of Dallas was destroyed.
It was a huge church. Once they see a wide of the destruction, they've seen it all. And once they've seen the whole church, it's like, okay, they've seen it. I wanted to kind of keep it confined up until the very end. And thankfully, he had said a beautiful soundbite while he was sitting there. And I was in a very, very wide view. You could see everything behind him. And he said something about, you're standing on holy ground.
It's obviously not going to be perfect for tonight.
Preparing these grounds is more about preparing the people.
I think prayer is one of the most powerful things we can do.
The Wednesday prayer service under a tent that will not be canceled, despite all this. What happens when the place we go to escape tragedy is the tragedy? Pastor Ricardo Brambilla of First Mexican Baptist hasn't sat in 2 days since the tornado.
I haven't had a chance to cry.
Tears, not of pain, but joy, because he believes God has an ultimate plan.
There's generations of people that sat here and they were little.
A church that opened 101 years ago. First Mexican Baptist is just one of several churches in West Dallas destroyed, along with the homes behind them. Thankfully, nobody was hurt.
The question in my heart is, why us? Why now?
Those answers may take time, a faith tested but not taken. The story of Job. The pastor says the church Bible sat in the rubble, opened to that very book. So now you know why these grounds matter, why this Wednesday service still stands.
And we just want to have closure.
Prayers for the beginning.
Right now, you are standing in holy ground.
The end.
More than ever.
And everything in between.
More than ever.
In Dallas, I'm Joe Panic.
I got in on the side where you couldn't really see the crane that much, but you could just see the part of it had just crossed a road and on top of the building, and there were fire trucks, and the constant thing you heard was rain and sirens, just sirens and sirens and sirens.
Absolutely scary, absolutely frightening.
Hey, take that structure out, take that structure out.
Then I just hear a metal cling, 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 cling. You can hear it. And next thing you know, I just happened to look up. The thing just towering, all the debris and everything just.
The crane cut through the building like Swiss cheese, like a hot knife through butter.
It happened so quick, man.
The crane fell down and then went through all the apartments, went through all of them.
Literally something out of the worst horror movie.
Luckily, within minutes, like it came so quick, we barely made it away from the living room. So it came all the way on the living room into the kitchen.
It's a disaster, it really is. I just happened to glance up to the right, and when I did, that's when I saw the crane crash through the building.
As you can see cars like hanging off the edge, cars turned sideways, cars upside down. It basically just like kind of like an old Hot Wheels track, just kind of falling all down.
My car's gone, my apartment's gone, like, it's gone.
Really, I'm just thankful to be here, and all I can say is God is on my side.
Who, what, where, when, why, how. That is the backbone of reporting. But there's another important detail, how something made someone feel. Well, the cameras are rolling. Our photojournalists write that part of the story in every frame.
You want to go first?
Okay, taxi via 34 right.
It's something I've never felt before, and it's definitely what I'm supposed to do.
Doesn't look the same. It's looks like a wasteland.
The people are the reason that we're doing the story, so I always want to find a person that is impacted by the story, and that way the people at home watching can relate to the story a lot more.
I think he's pretty excited about that.
Congratulations!
I love spaghetti and I love lunch. I eat it all the time.
Look for people that you can tell have a personality. If someone's laughing or telling jokes or just very demonstrative in what they're doing. Obviously, those people make good characters because you know they have a personality and they'll let it shine on air.
Oh God, it's so hot.
I mean, it just touches my heart, I tell you.
It was really just one of those things that just like gets you right in the heart.
We are a visual audio medium, so seeing and hearing people in the moment, in their own words, describe what's going on. The people are what really drive it, and being able to find them and get them to open up to us is what's most important.
Drum, catfish, everything.
When they were crying, I was just like, yes, we did it.
The sound is the most important thing. It tells you where you start and how you're going to end, and what you need to end with.
So what's our next adventure?
For me, it's not always, whenever you go out to shoot something or whenever I get somewhere to shoot a story, it's not about getting that camera out really quick and just trying to shoot video of someone or talking to someone. You talk to them for a few minutes and get to know them and put them at ease and let them know that, you know, you're a friend who cares and you want to do your best job telling their story, and they'll be more willing to open up.
I would say on average things are a little bit more laid back here, but yet the expectation is there that when it really counts, you're going after it, you know, and you know everybody else is.
Stop!
2,997.
Is it supposed to be that fuzzy?
But he's a blessing.
If you open your eyes, everything is lovable.
When you really tap into meeting people and getting to know them for who they are and knowing why they feel the way they do and why issues are important to them and why stories are important to them, you can better tell their stories and you can better find their stories.
Ask anyone who rides motorcycles and they'll tell you.
You get to feel the actual pavement, you feel the air.
There is nothing like it.
I love it, absolutely addicted to it.
For years, it's been Chris Murray's outlet. His Instagram page devoted to it. A love he's been able to share with his 72,000 followers. But not with the one person who means the most.
Come here, big boy. You want dad, don't you? You want dad.
This is Chris's brother, Nicholas.
Come here, let's sit down.
Nicholas was born with Angelman syndrome, a rare genetic disorder that affects his ability to walk, talk, and take care of himself.
Some people on the outside will look
Where are you going?
and watch us with him, and they may think, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that, or oh God, my gosh, that's so hard having to do that, but he's a blessing. He's a blessing.
Chris spends his days in Flower Mound taking care of Nick,
There we go.
finding ways to share life's simple joys with his little brother. But it had never crossed his mind that he could share his biggest joy, motorcycles, with his best bud.
It wasn't something that I thought was possible.
Until he saw this, a photo posted to Instagram of a Honda Grom just like his, but with a sidecar attached.
And yeah, he came across a post of what we did and it just clicked.
This is Tyler Haynes. He owns a small shop called Industrial Moto all the way in Culpeper, Virginia. Just a little down the road. He's the one who built that sidecar, a first for him.
Our specialty is not sidecars.
But when Chris reached out via Instagram and told him Nick's story, it was a no-brainer.
We jumped all over it. We just couldn't wait to do it.
He agreed to build a specialized sidecar on Chris's bike, shipping it from Texas to Virginia and back, so Nick could feel what his brother feels.
Guys, we did it.
And on a YouTube video now viewed more than 300,000 times, he watched as Nick experienced the thrill of a motorcycle for the very first time. It is now a joy Nick gets to feel alongside his brother.
There you go.
Day after day.
There you go, buddy. There you go, buddy. It's amazing. Fills my heart up. It just makes you feel better as a father, just knowing that he can experience some of the joys that we have that he doesn't get to do on his own.
What's up, nigga butt?
That grin, that laugh, that sheer unbridled happiness.
You looking good down there. I forgot what it felt to enjoy something so simple.
It is a reminder to us all, and a reminder that a brother's bond knows no bounds. In Flower Mound,
there we go.
I'm Lauren Zakalik.
You gotta stay back, buddy.
Arnold Payne and Jose Gant have been a part of the Channel 8 photography department and a very big part for almost 40 years now. Arnold Payne is an artist. He sees things through the lens of his camera that the average person just doesn't see. And Jose Gant has been the glue in our sports department who takes the pictures, edits the pictures, and puts it all together for those of us who can't do what he does. Our station is better. Your viewing is better because of Arnold Payne and Jose Gant. They came to Dallas and Channel 8 in November of 1980 and never left. Jose Gant and Arnold Payne have never gotten the credit they both deserve, but tonight they do. Jose Gant has been an editor, a producer, a photographer, an assignment editor, and the assistant sports director. He is in the middle of everything we do, and sometimes gets in the middle when he shouldn't.
You remember in that Cowboys game, official Doug Toole went down? Fox guys thought it was because of the heat. Actually, one of my guys, Jose Gant, throwing a football back on the field, hit Toole in the head.
That NFL official could only laugh because I don't know anyone who does it like Jose Gant. He is the Robin to Arnold Payne's Batman. AP has won several awards for his photojournalism because he is an artist. He sees things through the lens of a camera most of us can't see with the naked eye. And he is the type of photojournalist that when the Cowboys practice facility was falling during a storm, putting everyone's life at risk, AP kept his camera rolling. Over the years, he has gone from photographer to producer and even the voice for stories like his Valley Ranch tribute, If Only the Walls Could Talk.
I once was buzzing with gleam and excitement. I've stood silent and empty, now erased from existence. While my memories can't be denied, it's all over now. My place, where dreams came true.
It's a long list of the award-winning stories that Arnold Payne produced. Channel 8 photographers have won a lot of awards over the years. 3 times the National Press Photographers Association Station of the Year. Jose Gant and Arnold Payne are the only Channel 8 photographers who were a part of all 3. Channel 8 Sports has won a lot of awards over the years, but we don't win any of them if Jose Gant and Arnold Payne don't leave Shreveport and come to Texas 39 years ago. 39 years of amazing work that benefited the station and benefited the viewers of North Texas more. There might be some who can claim to be as good as Jose Gant and Arnold Payne, but there is no one who can claim to be better.
I'm Arnold Payne, more commonly known as AP.
My name is Jose Gant. I've been at WFAA for 39 years.
Ironically, growing up as a kid in Shreveport, I was always a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Move over, sweetness!
That made it even more interesting to be able to cover sports in a market that the Cowboys are certainly the premier franchise to be covered.
And now Super Bowl 27, the Rose Bowl in Pasadena.
So perhaps the highlight of my career was 1992 with the Dallas Cowboys in Pasadena, California. Beautiful sunny day. We're in California. I'm covering the America's team. I'm covering the team that I grew up loving. And I'm there, and I remember Michael Jackson was performing at halftime. It was one of the most gratifying and most memorable experiences of my career. It was just so beautiful, man. The weather was great, the blue skies, the flyover, and again, you know, Michael Jackson performing at halftime, and the Cowboys winning big, 52-17. It made for a pretty good day.
I tell people all the time, when the Stars win the Stanley Cup, because you know we had never had hockey here, and being in that locker room, we was live that night on Channel 8.
Yeah, baby! Woo!
So it was just, that Stanley Cup was, the only time they won the Stanley Cup, you was there, you know, in Game 6. So it was like, to me, that stand out more than any event I've been to. It was crazy because George was doing interviews and I was getting his guests for him. AP and Ship were doing interviews, so trying to get the guests, and they pouring champagne on you. You got the kids in there, they pouring beer on you. You know, everybody making noise and it's crazy and loud and everything. It was different.
I've been to 14 Super Bowls, 2 World Series, NBA championships, Stanley Cup finals. I've had a pretty good run.
But I'm gonna tell you one thing though, if you ever want to do a story, the easy folks to talk to, NHL players. The hockey players are unbelievable. They do anything for you. They pure out the Stars. They said like they're around the league, but the hockey players are the nicest guys, athletes I ever met. The nicest guys I ever met. It's football, basketball, baseball.
Your 2 newest members from WFAA in Dallas, Jose Gant and Arnold Payne.
Me and this guy have been together 39 years at Channel 8. We started in 1978 in Shreveport. Where can you go and find 2 guys from the same hometown still working together? You can't go nowhere to do that. You know, like you said, a small town. And we thank David Goldberg for giving us all the opportunity and Marty Haig trusting in us. And a quick story, Avery will tell you. When the first time I met Marty Haig, I said, Mr. Haig, he said, no, my name is Marty. He said, all this are out us, just call me Marty. And that stuck with me. But I go there, just remember, all us have a mission and something to do in our business. And I want to thank you very much. All right, man.
I wanted to do this story on Valley Ranch, the former home of the Dallas Cowboys. Again, the very home that Tom Landry himself, the man, the coach, the legend, sat as the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And I went back and thought about and just made some bullet points of some of the key moments in the Cowboys' history in that building, and basically told that story through pictures and through the natural sound of some of those events. And it was the most gratifying piece of work. I was very proud of that. I was very proud of it for many reasons, because Valley Ranch was like my second home. I spent many days at Valley Ranch, 4 days a week at Valley Ranch. So I felt like I needed a key. I needed my own key, but obviously that was not the case. But we spent many draft days, many days in the locker room, and so many coaches, so many players, and it was fun to go back and tell that story. For many years, I was considered hallowed ground by my loyal fans and ownership alike.
To ownership, it was whatever is beyond hallowed when it opened.
Valley Ranch was going to be the state of the art.
The Olympic-sized locker room, the Cowboy superstar mirrors, 30 acres under one roof.
Valley Ranch was tattooed on the brain of every NFL fan, whether you were a Cowboy fan or not.
After all, I was home to America's team.
Doug Cosby, nice to see you, man.
Walking in as a rookie, realized I just got drafted by the Dallas Cowboys.
How often do you get a chance to play for your favorite football team?
Today, I'm merely an empty nest. For years, I stood tall and strong, home to the man in the fedora. You know, I can remember the days as a teenager growing up in Shreveport, Louisiana, and going to the movie theater in downtown Shreveport. And I remember having to enter that theater from a side entrance, an alley, while the blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid entered through the front door. And I asked myself, why was I sitting in the balcony? I didn't understand that as a kid. But I remember the message that echoed in my brain over and over and over, that if the playing field was just somewhat level, just somewhat, that I could do a good job, that I could make a difference. And 39 years later here at WFAA TV, it was very rewarding to know that I personally did make a difference, but not only in my life, but in the lives of the thousands and thousands of viewers of WFAA TV. And that was a wonderful feeling.
It's kind of like when you work with somebody, you kind of like, they're like your family, because you know, I tell you, like, I don't even know my wife's cell number, but I can tell you Joe and AP, them cell number just like that. And when George Reed was here, because it's just like, you call them all the time. You just have to know in your head, you know, but it just, you see them every day, and it's kind of like a family deal.
I love my job so much. It didn't feel like a job. It felt more like an opportunity that was given to me. And now that I look back and think about all the historic events and how I brought that to the homes of so many viewers, it's kind of special. I don't know if I looked at it that way as I was in the middle of it, but it's now that I look back over the last 39 years of so many sporting events, it's nice to know that I was able to share that time, those moments, those special moments with so many people. But I'd like to go a little longer, and obviously it's a very physical and demanding job. It's a lot to be said for running up and down a sideline, but I really enjoy what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. I love the people that I do it with. I like game day. I'm so excited about game day. It really has an adrenaline flow for me, and I thoroughly enjoy it. So as long as the body holds up and I'm welcome, the next story is to be told.
When you watch our stories on WFAA, we hope that you notice the care and talent that goes into each piece. Our colleagues across the country have been watching too. And while awards aren't everything, this year our team captured 3 top national prizes: a National Mural Award, Photographer of the Year, and Station of the Year.
Well, we've done reporting on the border wall before. One of our first Verify stories involved going down to the border, and it was like during the 2016 presidential campaign, and just asking the question, like, do we need more border wall?
That's the wall right there. You want to try and climb over?
I do not.
We're talking about ways that we can kind of follow up on that, ways to kind of further that story, but we wanted to get away from like, do we need a wall, and focus more on what is really going to be the cost, not in terms of financials, but like, what is it going to cost to the people down there to take the land necessary to build that wall? It's David, it's me, it's another photographer. We brought Sebastian Robertson. We got a good reaction, I think, from people that were that appreciated the kind of nuanced and kind of longer approach we took to it.
You're just hoping your entry is good enough?
Why are you saying this?
Oh.
You're like,
oh, yeah.
well, I mean, like, you're telling
Well, I'm nervous for you, right?
Yeah.
You know, because like, you know, in journalism, like it takes two to tango sometimes, you know? And I feel like, you know, because this work is just as much my work as it is yours, or the other way around, right? This is just as much your work as it is mine.
Yeah, you can't win without collaboration and working with somebody else who has the passion that you have.
And you were all kinds of nervous, like for
Well,
like 3 months.
Just to be nominated was insane. Like that was my goal along my whole career, was just to get. Well, they used to put out the top 16, and I just wanted to get on the top 16, and then they stopped doing that. I'm like, well, I guess that's never going to happen. And then they just started putting out the top 4, and I did not expect this quickly for it to happen. And then when it came out, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it.
It's breathtaking.
Wow.
That I love them. They're amazing. They're everything that I ever wanted, and I'm sorry.
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
It didn't go up to heaven.
The girls meant that balloon for their daddy in heaven.
You're like, how the heck did these get here?
Unbelievable.
Sharon.
No helmet.
Wondering.
Plus, he was in a racing position, crouched over the motorcycle.
I heard him through my earphones.
And I remember like every waking moment you had, you were talking about like, oh man, like I don't think I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
You were sort of trying to downplay it, I remember.
Right. But then everybody else was telling me, oh, you got this. I'm like, how do you know? Like, how do you know that I have this? Yeah, I mean, they're like, it's a shoe-in. Michael Bosser was like, oh, you got it. It's no problem. It's not even a question. And I'm like, come on, dude. Like, no way. And but I knew I had this Spot News story, and that was the most important thing, was the Spot News.
Where there is smoke, there is fire.
He had an injury on this side.
A signal of what's raging on exit 3 of a busy Dallas Highway 75.
I was walking by it, and it went boom, just like you see in the movies.
Fire consumes. What is left is a smoldering carcass of a motorcycle and a small group of people.
Because he went by me like, vroom.
Unbelievable.
Sharon.
No helmet.
Wondering.
Plus, he was in a racing position, crouched over the motorcycle.
I heard him through my earphones.
He cut across 2 lanes between 2 cars.
What many heard and saw, this woman felt
Exit off to go to Central Market.
to the back of her car.
He did a number on that boy.
Of all days, the last day of the year.
What a freaking way to say Happy New Year! Yeah!
And then there were things witnesses saw that cannot be unseen.
A good 30, 40 yards. I mean, he just went tumbling.
And he started rolling. And I was like, oh, am I watching this for real? Like,
Yeah, I know.
The rider of this charred out motorcycle is not here.
That don't make no sense.
That man told me he'd get him for hitting him wrong.
Oh.
Witnesses say jumped inside a car.
And then he took off.
Dallas police says it's investigating a hit and run,
I saw that blood coming from the side of his head.
a scene too familiar on Highway 75.
And he was acting like somebody did it to him.
Exactly. That's how they normally do.
People here in very short time have bonded,
Bless her heart. She is beautiful.
Yes, she's been a good baby.
connected in chaos. We forget smoke signals are the oldest forms of communication and connection.
All right, girl, you got this.
Thank you.
You welcome.
Where there is smoke.
Keep in touch.
Yes. Okay.
Joe Panic. Channel 8 News.
And then they announced it. And
Everyone went crazy.
yeah, it was just, it was the crowning achievement of my career. It's going to be hard to beat.
Every day he wakes me up in the morning, and he's the reason that I'm still here. He's the reason for everything for me.
Just in the last year, he's been able to do more. Come on, come on.
I pray that God gives me protection and he helps me ride this bull.
I had a really strong feeling that we were going to win, honestly. Quite honestly, I did. Our tape was solid. We had really good stories, really great moments, wonderful photography, and we had a lot of passion. And that's what makes a great photography staff. I think you don't win that award, and certainly not twice, unless you're really trying to do it. That you have a plan and support in place to do the kind of stories that are going to allow you to let your creativity and your talent flourish.
People outside of the business may not know about those titles and what they mean, so we hope that our on-air product delivers that message. But within the local news business, people around the country know, because of those national awards, they know WFAA is the place to be. And so, you know, that means some of the best storytellers and the best photographers, the best whatever in the country, they want to be here because they may not live in this market, they may not see a lot of our work, but they know because we've got that, you know, badge of honor attached to us, they know that something good is going on here.
We hope you enjoyed the show tonight and know that our WFAA photojournalists and all of us here look forward to bringing you another year of powerful storytelling.
$6 billion. That is a lot of cheese. These Instagram-driven businesses are blooming across the country, sprinkled from San Francisco to Miami and Dallas. But this is a first in Fort Worth. This cold is from liquid nitrogen. Right now it's 148 degrees below zero, and even through my jacket, I can feel it. No comment? It's like the battle of the buzzard or something tonight.
Hey, what's up? It's Bots.
I'll be there in a minute. I'm just finishing up with Gus right now.